Like, look at this nose. Why is it so big? Buddy could probably smell Mars from here, man.
And this man talking, bro. Look at that. You talking? Shoot, I know I got a big nose, so don't even come after me. Chill out. Bing. Welcome back. Today's react. We're looking at villains who were low-key right. You already know for sure this is gonna have Thanos in there. Every single one of these is gonna have Thanos in there because I don't think he was low-key right at all, to be honest. But I just know it's gonna be in here. There's just no way. Every single one of these topics had Thanos in there. You already know what to do. Subscribe. Follow the Twitch. I know I haven't streamed at all, but I will eventually. So follow that.
Villains that were low-key right. By the way, when I say low-key right, that doesn't mean I agree with their opinions fully, and especially not the method of actions, because I have
facts, because they just started doing the most. Absolute most.
I'm not gonna lie, they were tweaking. But anyways, back on
like the stuff Thanos was doing to get them stones. Bro was straight evil, bro.
First up, Dr. Doofenshmirtz and Phineas and Ferb. All right, so if you don't know who the Doc is,
what was he
he's
right
basically
about?
the main villain of Phineas and Ferb. And I'm not finna explain Phineas and Ferb. Everybody should know that show. But he was basically infamous for making a lot of inventions. And for some reason, every single one of his inventions ended with a thon. The Annihilator-a-thon, the Death-a-thon, the Unemployment-a-thon. Because I know a lot of y'all are suffering from that.
What do you mean a thon? He means Enator. This man did not watch Phineas and Ferb. It's Enator, not a thon. Yo, come on, bro. Am I tripping? I'm pretty sure it's Enator. Yeah, it's Enator.
Right now. But to sum it up, he's the main villain in this world, and everybody hates him. But in all reality, I don't think he's that bad of a guy. Matter of fact, I don't think so. Say that he's a good guy at the heart. And the main reason why I say that is because when you look at his backstory, gee golly, that shit was horrible. I mean, he was very lonely. He had
bro, he had the worst childhood of anybody in real life, bro. Like, that junk made no sense, bro. How does your mother and father not show up for your birth, bro?
No friends. Nobody wanted to be around him. He literally made a balloon his best friend. And also, his parents absolutely hated him. I mean, for God's sake, they didn't even show up to his birth. How?
Yeah, like, that makes no sense,
but
bro.
They did that shit. And then not to mention, when he got home, his life was even worse.
Because his mother didn't love him to not be around this guy.
Kickball of all things in the world not to be good at. Like, what the f? He was extremely choppy. So you already know none of the hoes wanted him when he was growing up. Like, look at this nose. Why is it so big? Buddy could probably smell Mars from here, man. I know Buddy's worst fear is India. I'm not gonna lie. He would probably die. My fault.
And this man talking, bro. Look at that. You talking? He's the one talking about big nose? Shoot, I know I got a big nose, so don't even come after me. Chill out. But look at this guy. Perry is basically this man's babysitter, to be honest. He just creates some stupid junk, and Perry gotta get rid of it before
everything he
for
did
nonsense.
Is out of a trauma response. And a lot of what he did was also to help.
And he doesn't. I don't think he really even thinks about it as like an evil thing either. Dr. Doofenshmirtz. What does he even do? He talks about the tri-state area a lot. Yo, I don't remember that show like that. The Eminators weren't even very useful at all. It was like for one specific situation that he's trying to use it for, and it's never goes right, obviously.
And even though that's a selfish reason, you can't tell me right now with a confident face if you had his childhood, you would do any different. Because I sure can't. So that's why.
That's like most villains, though. Every villain has a sad backstory. I can't say his
intentions were wrong.
That doesn't mean that they're not evil.
Bad, like, oh boy, buckle up for the next villain we're finna talk about.
All right.
Ken.
How was he a villain?
Misunderstood. Let me break down
that man was straight up just speaking facts the whole movie. That was it. That was all that was happening.
This movie. Basically, the B movie is about a bee that graduated college but didn't want to work.
Nobody thinks he's wrong.
So he left his little beehive and met a human named Vanessa. And somehow,
I mean, as a kid, yeah, you probably did.
Found out that humans sold a hunter. But they end up together, and they also end up gaslighting Ken so much to the point where he goes back crazy. Which honestly, I can't blame him. I mean, every single man would do the same thing if his girl got taken by a bee. But
see, that bee would have been dead, though.
Ken is the villain in real life, realistically. And I hate that this movie tried to gaslight us into thinking that shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's for kids, like...
Kids. We didn't know anything.
You wouldn't really realize. You just see him trying to attack the main character.
We thought it was possible. If anything, Barry was actually the villain, in my opinion.
Not even just that. That man was ruining the environment. By doing that.
But this isn't even the craziest situation we're finna talk about. And a matter of fact, we're finna talk about the craziest one next. Because honestly, I feel like it's the one y'all have all been waiting for. See, Thanos grew up on a planet called Titan. And a major issue on his planet was overpopulation. See, Thanos suggested that they just killed off half of the population so that at least the other half of the population.
See, like, that is stupid, bro. That is stupid. How about just stop having so much kids? How, like, it's called overpopulation for a reason, bro. They're having too many kids. Just stop having as many kids, and there'll be not as many people.
Could live and survive.
Why you gotta kill half?
Because the planet.
All because your planet had that problem. Don't mean everybody else got that problem. This man was going through different planets, destroying junk, blowing it up, enslaving them, killing half of their people. That's the crazy part too. He went to different planets trying to find these things, and then he was killing half of the people on that planet, and then he still had the plan to snap and then half everything. Now that planet is at 25% of what it was supposed to be at. Like, what sense does that make? Why are you still going through with halving other planets when you already are at the end going to half every single planet? Makes no sense. That don't make no sense.
It's about to be in. But the government of this world deemed that way too inhumane, which I do agree. I mean,
it is.
How would you even go about that? Like, would it be a lottery? Would it be nationally televised? Like, imagine turning on the TV to find out if you were finna die. Like, the fate of your life was based on a lottery. But anyways, eventually the whole planet ended up being extinct. And this obviously made Thanos very, very sad. But there was one silver lining. He was right. See, if Titan did massacre half of their population, they would have survived. But they didn't, and that's why they died. And in all reality, if you're just crazy like Thanos, that's all the motivation you need to just go and kill people. And from that point on, he proceeded to commit mass genocide to the whole universe until he found out about the Infinity Stones, and then it basically
okay. So he did it before he got the stones,
and we know the rest because the rest is history. Now a lot of people think he was.
Well, obviously he got it before the stones, but like before he knew about the stones.
Because we as human beings are parasites to our world. I mean, all we do is just suck and slobber up all of the planet's resources. And then oftentimes we just completely milk it dry, and then there's just nothing else left. And at the same time, if we sucked up some of the resources, but not all of it, at a cool little rate, it wouldn't be that bad. But we're just doing it way too fast. And it's just, we just got to stop that. We got to slow it down. And people think the best way of slowing it down is by just cutting half the population, which in theory does sound correct. And that's why a lot of people agree with that.
It is not correct, bro.
I'm not one of them. So y'all know this is supposed to be
facts. Like how is that correct, bro? And what way is that correct? There's no way. Like, you know how much food we throw away? It is not overpopulated. It's just badly distributed.
About villains that were low-key, right? But I want to tell y'all about one that I know is wrong. It's not for the reason that you think. I think before he got to Infinity Stone, everything he did wasn't as bad as it seemed. Yeah, the raging war and mass genocide throughout the universe, that was bad. I'm not gonna lie. I can't justify that. But I will admit, even though it was unethical, he was correct about Titan. The only way they could solve that problem wasn't by nuking half the population.
I mean, I don't know how bad it was. I don't know.
To do that, nuke the entire population. When a decision has to be made, it has to be made, or else everything will fail. So I do agree with that.
But my question is, like, right? He was on this planet that he's talking about that had the population problem. How did he live? Right? It doesn't make sense to me. How did he live? If he's traveling to all the other planets, that means he somehow gained a way of traveling to other planets. Why couldn't they travel to other planets? I don't get it. I don't get what happened there. That doesn't make sense to me.
Once he got them Infinity Stones, there is no justifiable reason that he should have did that, boo. Like, you're telling me you got this big gauntlet that will allow you to do anything you can imagine in this world, and the first thing you decide to do with it is just murk half the population. Yeah. Like, there was way better solution to
or something like,
if this gauntlet
makes infinite food no matter what.
Double all of the resources for everybody in the universe. That would immediately fix every single problem we have. And I've seen some debates about that solution theory, because that's not my theory, by the way. I'm not gonna lie. I completely stole that. But none of them really make sense. Like, the main one I'm seeing is that, yeah, Thanos could do that, but then once the population doubles, you'll just have to keep on redoing it. Like, bitch, okay, I mean, who cares? Let's keep on redoing. Any solution is better than eliminating life for no reason. And if you really want
the whole universe, half of the universe dead, for what, bro? All because your planet had that problem?
To stop doing it so much, all he has to do is just double it one time and tell everybody that.
Shoot, if anything, make it so that people don't have to eat no more or something.
If you
got the all-powerful stones
that I just said, you will be murdered immediately. You know I'll do it now. Like, you didn't have to go to those extreme lengths when there was just such a better solution. I feel like he just wanted to murk out the population.
He did. He just wanted to be 100% right to prove a point.
And I'm sorry, that's just not a good reason. But the last person I'm going to talk about does actually have a good reason for doing what he does. I just may or may not agree with the methods.
What is that?
Oh, and the character I'm talking about.
Where's that from? Devil May Cry.
Is the bunny. So yeah,
he's 100% correct. I actually kind of want to play those games.
But let's talk about the main antagonist, the White Rabbit. See, Rabbit wants to destroy the Earth, but not in the way you think. Rabbit is ruthless. He would sacrifice his own.
I mean, he didn't want to destroy it. He just wanted to take it over.
And also, he used another man's child as blackmail. And then once he was done with him, he tried to kill him. So he had no intentions of ever returning his child back to this man. Overall, this guy was just ruthless and disgusting in the ways that he tried to achieve his goal of world destruction. But let me tell you why he was trying to destroy the world. Because when you hear his backstory, all of this kind of
it makes perfect sense.
But
it
makes
100% sense.
He bounced around from multiple foster homes, some being abusive. One of the homes being so bad that one night he decided to just run away with nothing but his only prized possession, an Alice in the Wonderland book. Eventually, he stumbles across a portal to what seemed like another world, and since he had nothing else to live for in this world, he decided to enter. But little did he know, he willingly just entered the gates of hell. Actually, a chill demon stumbled across Rabbit, and he led him to his village, where we come to find out that not every single demon is bad, and that a lot of them just want to live normal, regular lives. And since he had nowhere else to go, the village took him in as one of their own, where he stayed for years and ended up being a part of their culture. And everything's good at first, until he remembered that he was in hell and everything is horrible. I mean, hell doesn't have blue skies and rainbows. I mean, all it has is death. So Rabbit decided to make a device that could open
and he was treated better by the demons than he was humans in general.
But at the same time, I live on this earth and not on that earth, so fuck you. I don't want to see demons. Well, I'm glad he got packed.
Literally, like, them things got superpowers, bro. Superpowers against regular human beings. Like, you see what that lady has to wear, what she has to do, the training she has to go through, just to be on the same level as a regular demon who does nothing, bro.
Up at the end of the series, R.I.P. Bozo. I'm not gonna lie. I can't sit here and act like I don't understand his reasoning, and if I was him, I would do anything different.
You can understand his reasoning,
I wouldn't go to the
I wouldn't be on his side, to be honest.
He sacrificed his own people just to achieve a greater goal, and also he was willing to sacrifice billions of people to achieve a greater goal. Yes, this is messed up, but at the same time, you really can't say it was out of selfish gain, because he was looking at the betterment of society in the long run. I mean, everybody would have got packed up, but eventually people would have found a way to defeat these demons one way or another. And even if it didn't happen at the start, eventually society would be balanced again. Because no matter what, it's not fair that these demons have to suffer through all of that pain and torture, the fear of getting eaten, the fear of breathing too much, basically living a horrible.
But I'm pretty sure they were the ones that messed up their own world, though. I'm pretty sure. Because at first, in the show, it literally said that both of the worlds were both one place. Right? And they just separated them. That means they messed up their stuff, and then they want us, our world, that didn't get messed up. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Life for no reason other than them just being born in there. And it's completely not fair that us humans could just live a perfectly fine life without even caring about what these demons had going on, bro. That's crazy. But again, he was willing to sacrifice himself for his overall goal, so you can't say it's the most selfish thing ever, even though it was out of selfish hatred that he started this goal. And in my opinion, bro, Lowkey kind of right. I mean, of course this is a cartoon, but if this happened in real life, that is the correct decision. Yeah, we will ultimately have to pay the price for it, but at least our ancestors would be straight, and the demon ancestors would be straight too. We should at least guarantee a future generation's safety over ours. It's what y'all want me to say, but at the same time, R.I.P. Bozo. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to get eaten by a demon, and you don't want to get eaten by a demon. So I am glad that he ultimately.
It's almost guaranteed that once that veil comes down, they're all dead. You think any of them demons are not gonna kill all them humans? They're killing all them humans. That is 100% going to happen. There's no reason for them not to. It's in their benefit to do so, bro. Just like how the humans would do the same to them, they would do the same back.
Failed at the end.
It's impossible, bro. Things are superhuman beings. But that's the end of that. You already know what to do. Subscribe. We hit 1,300 actually. Twitch, follow the Twitch. I'm gonna be streaming on there at some point. I don't know when, but I will.